kulang sa detalye. That's my personal opinion. It lacks details. And in the presentation yata, admittedly, maybe we can quote you, the details of which had not been identified. Sina na mismo nag-volunteer pa ng information. So, marami pa po ako sanang gustong tanungin, but time is limited.
We can have a second round, Minority Leader.
Doon si Senator Tulfo, tinitignan ko yung mukha niya, mukhang gutom na rin to. Kaya,
Tatanong ko kung mukhang magtatanong.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the first round.
Thank you, Minority Leader.
DBM.
Ako, I can understand the need for flexibility, pero tama si Senator Pimentel, as much as possible, maybe including the following, yung binanggit yung project, so we can place it there, para hindi masyadong, you yourself said, as a public finance practice, it's better to specify. So, the next to ask is Senator Raffy Tulfo, sir. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I heard it right. Sabi po ni USec Tina Rose, we do not act as God. Did you say that? Did I hear it right? Parang narinig ko ata. O mali pagkarinig ko. Sabi mo kanina na sa tanong na
Parang wala po akong sinabi.
parang meron ako narinig eh.
Parang wala po akong
Parang wala?
huwad na
So, ibig sabihin na guni-guni lang ako siguro. I don't know. Kaya nga, sinulat ko agad eh. Nakajot down. But anyway, what is your policy in reducing proposed budget in a certain department when in fact you do not have an expertise on the aspect of governance of that particular department? Halimbawa po sa Judiciary at saka sa Department of Migrant Workers. Do you have experts that gives you guidance bago kayo mag-slash ng proposed budget ng isang departamento? Bukod po doon sa mga lumalapit sa inyo at nagpresent po ng kanilang proposed budget.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, when a budget is proposed to DBM, when an agency goes to DBM to propose their budget level, there are two things which we consider.
Okay?
Number one is the cost of their ongoing programs and projects. And these comprise the tier one. What we call the tier one is the cost of ongoing programs and activities, regardless of whether an organization or an entity has outputs or produce outputs. Number two, we now consider also the absorptive capacities of agencies and departments.
Okay.
Because in many instances, continuing appropriations are not used, or not even released during the year that it was appropriated.
Not used and not released.
Yes.
So,
There are certain
sinabi mo na, ma'am, not used.
not
So, ibig sabihin-
used or not released.
Okay.
Okay.
Yung budget na binigay niyo sa kanila, hindi po nagamit.
It is not
I'm just, sorry ma'am.
Apo.
So tama ako. Kasi baka may mag-deny ka na naman. So budget not used.
Okay.
Okay. So doon niya determine whether it's next year, whether yung budget na yan ay request na yan tungkol that particular budget, tataasan o bababaan. Okay, sige.
Apo.
I just want to make sure kasi ayoko na mag-denyan tayo mamaya.
Okay.
Go ahead po, madam.
In addition to the continuing appropriations, we also consider the reports on operations.
Reports, okay.
Okay.
Reports.
The
Sige.
physical as well as financial.
Physical,
Yes.
okay. Sige.
So-
Physical and financial, tama? Okay, sige po. Go ahead po.
Accomplishments against targets.
Accomplishment against target, okay.
And that is used as basis for the level that will be provided for the agency for the budget year.
Good enough. Okay, now, let's start with the Department of Migrant Workers, which I'm the committee chair. Nag-request po ng CAPEX ang OWA for 2022 ng 281,116 pesos. Tinabla niyo po, meaning zero. Kahit man ang sana katiting, inaprobahan niyo, wala. Alam niyo ba kung para saan sana yung amount na yun? Meron ho ba sa inyo na dating OFW o dating nagtatrabaho po sa OWA, nagtatrabaho sa PUE para magkaroon po ng konting insight kung ano ba talaga ang mga pamamalakad nangyayari po dyan sa loob ng mga departamento na nagipag-ugnayan na sumusuporta at tumutulong sa mga OFW. Now, just answer this question. 281 ang request. Alam niyo siguro para sa yung 281 million.
I am assuming, Mr. Chair, while we are looking for the data, because it's a very new department, at that point when we were preparing the budget, the level of detail that was required per national budget call was not yet available for DMW. I'm just assuming that, Mr. Chair.
You're just assuming.
Yes.
Kasi po sabi niyo reports, yung physical, structure.
Opo.
Okay, I'll tell you what now, ma'am, para hindi na tayo magkahirapan pa ito at humaba. Yung 281 million na ni-request po ng OWA, tagal na po yan. Time and time again, they've been requesting amount para sa kanilang capex. And time and time again, palagi niyo po tinatabla. Para saan po sana yan? Para po sana sa mga infrastruktura yan, mga offices at mga sasakyan na gagamitin po ng mga kawani nila para pumunta sa mga liblib na lugar na para tugunan ang mga panawagan ng mga OFWs, yung mga may problema, susunduin, dadalhin sa shelter, at yung mga dumarating, susunduin sa airport, o dadalhin pa doon sa kanilang lugar, and kinatapos niyo po yan. So, yung mga sasakyan po na meron ng OWA, matatanda na po, luma na bubulok, kakarag-karag na, nasisira na. So, ang nangyari, nag-rent po sila para lamang natugunan yung pangangailangan nila para doon sa paghatid sundo sa mga FW, number one. Number two, infrastructure. Meron pa nga po atang executive order, this was a couple of years ago, na pinapayagan po, dahil meron po nag-donate ng lupa sa Coronadal. So all it needs is budget sa construction. Again, tinabla po. Meron pong nag-donate din ng lupa sa OWA para sa Pagadian, para sila po ay makapaglipat ng opisina dahil bulok na yung kanilang opisina. And ang kailangan lang po, budget para sa infrastructure, construction. Again, tinabla naman po ng DBM. You're acting like God. That's the reason why, kanina, akala ko narinig ko talaga, pero sabi mo din sinabi, dapat po, meron kayong expertise in a particular department on the aspect of governance of that particular department na kina-slash po yung budget. Hindi kayo slash na slash. Example, bago sagutin niyo sa DBM, sa Judiciary, ang tanong ko po, ma'am, meron ba kayong inmate na relatives presently na nasa any of our city jails? First question. Second question, ano ba ay naging defendant na sa isang case sa any court, or have you been a respondent in a subpoena from a prosecutor's office? If the answer is no, then I'll lecture you. Sorry po, madam. Wala, no? The answer is no to all?
No.
May reason kung bakit ko tinatanong yun.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
No?
No, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor.
Okay. Umpisahan po natin doon sa state of our judiciary, sa mga korte. Alam niyo po ba na kulang na kulang po ang ating mga korte? In so many cases, defendant.
Mr. Chair, sige.
In so many instances, relevant po itong sinasabi ko makinig po kayo kasi marami akong karanasan nito dahil marami po lumalapit sa akin na mga mahirap nating kababayan na nadidiin sa isang kaso. Kulang po yung mga korte natin. So, isang korte, 2 hanggang 3 judges ang nag-uukupa. Right?
Sila muna.
So, ano po yung magiging domino effect noon? Number one,
Which related, yeah?
nadidelay po yung kaso. Nagkakaroon po ng delay sa kaso dahil nga yung mga judges, paano nila agad-agad mapapabilis yung resolve sa isang case? Because 2, 3 sila, mag-antayin sila sa scheduling. Number one. Number two, yung pong suspect, di ba, na may kaso doon sa RTC na tatlo ang judges sa isang korte, yan po, mahirap at walang pambail, tutuloy-tuloy sa city jail. Tama po. Since wala po siya pambail, kahit na mababaw yung kanyang kasalanan, o kahit na in some cases, wala talaga siya kasalanan, napagflipan lang ng mga police or whoever, then siya po ay magdurusa sa loob ng city jail. So kung halimbawa abuti ng 2 taon bago matapos yung kanyang kaso, dahil nga sa scheduling ng judges, dahil kulang sa infrastructure, then 2 taon siya magdurusa. Okay? Now, doon sa prosecutor's office, sabi ko kung kayo po ay naging respondent sa subpoena from the Fiscal's office, punta ka sa Fiscal's office, ang haba po ng pila ng mga defendant doon. Pag mayaman, mag-aantay sa kotse, naka-aircon, nakabukas yung aircon, tatawagin na lang ka ng driver, boss, ikaw na, aakyat si defendant. Pero pag mahirap, pila-pila, papay-pay-pay pa yan dahil walang aircon, sira, bulok yung infrastructure.
Stringent requirement.
Building. Now, ito po ngayon. So, ang nangyayari po, pag walang infrastructure at walang kagamitan sa korte, ano pong ginagawa ng mga local executive? Pasintabi sa mga judges, di ako magpapatama. Lumalapit po sila sa LGU, sa mga local executives. Magpatayo po ng mga korte. Mag-provide ng aircon, electric fan, at refrigerator. Now, what's in it for us? Sasabihin po ni local executive. So therefore, these judges, these prosecutors will be indebted to the local executives. So ibig sabihin, may influensyon po ng local executives yung kaso dahil iutang sa kanila. And ang masaklap pa, kapag mayroong abusado diyang local executive, kanyang sipa-sipain ang sinong Juan de la Cruz dahil malakas siya sa local executive sapagkat nag-donate siya ng aircon, nag-donate siya ng refrigerator, kasama siya sa pag-donate para makapag-construct ng bagong building o korte. Yan po ang isang dahilan kung bakit palagi kong sinasabi, especially during the campaign, he was less in life, should have more in law. Ang first and last defense po ng ating mga mahirap na kababayan ay ang batas. Pero kung paano kung sa batas nasushortchange sila, paano kung sa batas na sana magprotekta sa kanila, yun pa mismo ang nag-abandona sa kanila. Do you follow me, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kaya nga po, masama ang loob ko nung nakita ko po yung budget sa Judiciary na kinat niyo po almost in half. Kayo ho ba ay meron experience o meron kayo mga abogado o judges man lang na mga consultant ninyo bago kayo mag-slash ng budget ng Judiciary para magsabi sa inyo, okay, ito importante, ito hindi importante, ito pwedeng igo natin, things like that.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I handled the judiciary when I was still director.
Okay?
Just to give a perspective for the budget of the Supreme Court, when I handled it, the funding of the Supreme Court and the lower courts were very centralized. And that's the reason why we computed an allocation per trial court. Now, yun pong first issue regarding the creation of courts, that is made by the legislature. And once a court is created, DBM provides and approves the plantilla for the courts. Unfortunately, because of the very stringent requirements for lawyers, as well as technical for the Supreme Court, what happens is that they have an unfilled position, they have a gap of around 40%. That is also true for NAPROS, the National Prosecution Service. And that's the reason, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, we were coordinating with the Department of Justice na baka pwedeng huwag masyadong taasan yung requirement kasi parang 5 years po of active practice bago mapasok sa prosecution.
Okay.
Opo. Ganun din po sa mga judges and justices. Once na na-create yung court, DBM actually provides it. Now, for the MOO...
So, ma'am, okay, sige, meron na tayong mga korte, ang sinasabi kanina, pero ng mga korte, kulang yung korte.
Opo.
Mas maraming judges. And in some cases, kulang din po yating judges. Halimbawa po, may mag-retire na isang judge. Right? So, syempre, meron siyang backlog dyan. So, pag-retire niya, ipapasa niya sa isang judge
Opo.
na by himself already, overwhelmed na siya. Ipapasa yan kasi ang tagal, inaabot po ng taon bago magkaroon ng replacement.
Yes.
Dahil wala pong budget. Kasi na-slash po yung budget para Supreme Court.
Hindi naman po in-slash kasi mas mataas naman po yung provision niya from last
No, ang ibig sabihin kasi po, binawasan yung budget. So, hindi po makagalaw yung judiciary. Kumbaga, paano nila pagkasya nitong budget na binawasan? Kasi nagbigay siyang proposed budget o certain amount and then kinat in half. So, dapat yung kalahati na nawala, yun po sana mapunta sa infrastructure, yun po sana pagdating sa hiring ng judges, pag-modernize ng kanilang mga ng computer system, etc. Pinutol na po.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, even if the budget was slashed insofar as the Supreme Court is concerned, we also would like to flag that previous budgets of the Supreme Court are available to the Supreme Court until it is fully exhausted because it is a SIFAG. So, meron po silang available funds under their financial statements na nasa kanila at nakacentralize ho kasi sa Supreme Court. Yun po yung nagiging
If
problema.
I can add also, Yusek, Your Honor, I think a lot of the judiciary's positions are unfilled sa judges kasi may bottleneck somehow dun sa appointment process. Eh. Can you get the figures from, you think you can get that for us, yung unfilled judiciary positions, yung hindi pa na-appoint yung judge, etc. Madami-rami yun eh, di ba? Para I remember in the last judiciary hearing, not this year but maybe last year, they mentioned that there were so many pending appointments sa Office of the President, di ba? Yeah.
Mr.
Oo.
Chair.
Yes,
Yes, in line
Mr.
with the
Lauren, yeah.
question of Senator Tulfo and your statement, I recall when I was in your position as
allow me
Chair-
just to acknowledge our Majority Leader, Senator Joel. Good morning, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
Your Honor.
thank you.
Thank you.
Regarding the unfilled positions in the judiciary, I recall that, and LBRMO is here, I know that even if they are not utilized by the judiciary, the legislature never reduces the amount. In short, magugulat po kayo, ang laki-laki ng savings ng judiciary. In short, meron mga unfilled positions because of difficulties beyond the DBM scope and beyond the legislature in hiring, yun ang binanggit ng chair, many challenges, hindi po napupuno yan. Pero yung pondong linaan natin sa kanila, nasa kanila pa. Tapos na lang ang hearing ng judiciary, pero kung titignan po nyo sa records, tatanungin nyo sila, maraming taon po, hanggang ngayon, hindi po napupuno yan at hindi po natin ginagawa na ang kanilang pondo sa susunod na taon ay mas mababa doon because of the Constitution, Article 8, Section 3, that the judiciary will have fiscal autonomy. I'll just put in the record, judiciary shall enjoy fiscal autonomy. Appropriations for the judiciary may not be reduced by the legislature below the amount appropriated for the previous year and after approval will be automatically and regularly released. So, hindi po binabawasan ng Kongreso, kasama po natin ang pondo ng judiciary. Labag po yan sa konstitusyon. Ang DBM, hindi po nila, sa aking lahat ng taon nagtrabaho sila, hindi po nila binababaan ang budget ng judiciary. Sigurado po ako dyan. At saka, yung unfilled positions po, nandyan po yan, hindi natin binabawi, hindi po revert to treasury, gaya po ng ibang ahensya ng gobyerno na after 1 year or 2 years, kung extended ang budget, babalik. Sa kanila po yan at marami po silang savings. That's my answer to the DBM and to Senator Tulfo. I'm certain of that.
Okay, kasi nga, thank you, Senator
Yes,
Lauren
thank
Lagada
you.
at DBM. Kasi in talking to some judges, I have some people that I know sa courts, na tinatanong ko, bakit bubulok-bulok yung mga korte ninyo? Ay bakit ang nagpatayo ng courthouses ninyo ay si Mayor ganito? Diba? Kasi wala nga po silang budget. Wala raw pong perang ibinigay sa kanila for those infrastructure, sa infra.
Magandang sinabi nyo yan. Salamat at sinabi nyo yan kasi tama yan. Maraming mga courthouses.
Makadagdag ko, Senator. Yun nga po, paano pa magkaroon ng autonomy itong mga judges natin ang nagpatayo po ng courthouse ay si Mayor o si Governor. Ang nagbigay po ng mga aircon, nagbigay po ng sasakyan, nagbigay po ng LGUs, yung refrigerator. So, indebted na po itong mga korte natin sa mga LGUs. So, pwede na maghari-harian mga taga-LGUs.
It should not be like that. May I just put on record, Mr. Chair, in response to Senator Tulfo and for alam na ng DBM to, I just want to put it on record. Sa savings po nila, sa unfilled positions na maraming taon, ay tanong ko sa DBM, maari yan i-realign gamit for CAPEX, capital outlay, para po sa upgrading and rehabilitation of our courthouses. Pangalawa po, experience ko rin dahil may mga humingi po ng tulong nung tayo po'y share ng finance sa mga courthouses. 2018 ko po binigay hanggang 2019. Ngayon po hindi pa tinatayo pa. Kaya sabi ko po, nakabalik na ako ng Senado. Sa Antique po ito. Sa Judiciary po yung fund. So I call them, can I inaugurate it now that I'm back in the Senate? We have not started the construction. It's been 5 years.
So, ibig sabihin, Madam Senator, so may pera sila pero ayaw nilang gamitin para mag-construct na korte. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Bakit nila hindi nila gagamit yung pera na binigay sa kanila?
Yes, Senator Tulfo, hindi ko po masa-second guess ang dahilan. Maganda po, nungin natin, kasi tapos na yung judiciary budget, maybe sa plenary, pero
Yeah.
even before then, what is the challenge? Why the savings, which can be realignable for CapEx, or even funds given for CapEx for courthouses are not immediately used? Perhaps the chair
Okay.
of the committee can answer that, or DBM.
Ba silang unutilized for
Bakit ganun?
CapEx?
Oo.
Magkano yung utilize po nila? Pwede malaman? Halimbawa, for last year, magkano po yung utilize na para sana sa CapEx, para sa improvement, para sa construction ng mga courthouses? Meron mo bang ganong klaseng savings? Sila? At magkano? Kasi na po, I've been to different courthouses, okay, around the country. Marami din mga dilapidated courthouses. Marami dyan mga bubulok-bulok. Meron pa akong pumunta minsan, I think that's somewhere in Pasay, na meron pong timba. Kasi kaulan lang, sinasahod po yung tulo ng ulan. I don't think kung may pera itong mga Supreme Court natin o yung Judiciary, hindi na gagamitin yung para mag-construct. I don't believe that. Talagang walang pera, kaya hindi sila nag-construct. Yan po ang sinasabi ko, dapat po, iikot din po kayo, tinitingnan din po yung tunay na estado ng mga korte natin because I've been there. Sumasama po ako sa mga mahirap ng kababayan na respondent po sa mga kaso. Pupunta ako ng probinsya, Davao, Cebu, para sumama po. In so many cases, ito po yung napapiansa. Tapos po ako ng bail using my own money. Kasi nakita ko po, itong isang pobre, mabubulok to sa isang bilangguan dahil pinagbintangan lang ng isang kaso na hindi naman niya talaga ginawa at ang bail lamang is 10,000 and he cannot afford. Therefore, mabubulok siya doon. Diba? Dahil, bakit siya mabubulok? Yung kanyang kaso, i-reschedule sapagkat wala ng korte. At kung may korte man, ano po yung judge? So, ngayon, kumbaga naka-hostage ngayon itong na respondent sa isang kaso sa schedule ng judge. Kaso yung judge na mahirap makakuha ang schedule dahil walang korte. Diba? Pumunta ko kayo sa mga korte. Ako po, ang dami ko napuntang korte. Sumasama po ako sa mga respondents. Kaawa-awa po yung maraming mga korte natin. Nakakahiya. Pumunta ko kayo sa abroad. Akala nyo nasa hotel kayo. Sa atin, buti pa yung palengke, buti pa yung wet market, buti pa yung Q-Mart. Kung minsan na malinis pa tingnan yung Q-Mart kahit sa mga korte natin dyan dito sa NCR. Bubulok-bulok. Kasi kung meron talaga silang savings, matatalino naman siguro yung mga judges natin, hindi naman siguro mga moro niyan na if savings tayo, sige gamitin natin ito pag-construct ng korte. Hindi yun. May savings kayo, hindi mo gagamitin yung savings mo para mag-construct ng korte at papayagan mo si Mayor ang mag-pondo niyan. Marami po sa mga korte natin ang nagpo-pondo po niyan, pati yung malaman yan, GU. There were so many instances na meron po akong proponent na walang kasalanan, na kusanadahan lang ni Mayor or nagkaroon na ng konting sama ng loob si Councilor, tulong na agad. Why? Malakas siya kay Fiscal, malakas siya kay Judge. Bakit? Si Mayor na nag-provide o si Council nag-provide ng kanyang electric pan o ng kanyang aircon, ng kanyang sasakyan. Si Mayor nagpatayo ng house. So these people, the Fiscal and the judges are indebted to these politicians. At sino pang talo dito? Mahirap. Mayaman man. Meron silang perang pagkuha ng mga magagaling na abogado. Expensive lawyers to defend them. And then meron silang pangpiyansa. So they do, unless kung yan po ay non-bearable offense. Mga mayaman man, they don't care. Kahit na isang milyon pang piyansang put mo for them, they can come up. Pero mahirap, 10,000. Meron pa nga ako 10,000. Hindi na kaya. I have to spend my, spend my own money para mapiansahan yung pobre. Yan po yung tunay na estado sa ating judicial system. At mind you, ma'am, marami po mga nakakulong ngayon sa mga city jail natin, nag-aantay na matapos yung mga kaso ma-resolve. For many years na nandyan sila. Walang kasalanan. I know this for a fact because alam ko kung yung karakas ng karamihan sa ating mga pulis, hindi naman nila lahat. Maraming sa mga pulis, mabilis na magpakulong ng inosenteng kababayan dahil alam nila walang perang depensa. So ma'am, ang request ko lang, sana mag-usap kayo ng mabuti, ng maayos, ng mga taga-judiciary. Kung paano kayo magtulungan, number one, na modernize, ma-digitalize na yung ating judiciary. Pupunta ko ka sa korte. Ito, marami din mga korte. Pagpunta mo, nakakatakot na, baka yung upuan doon, yung bench na mahaba, may pako. Ito, I'm not joking, I'm not kidding. Tapos, sa tabi niya, makikita mo sa dingding, yung mga folders, nagpatong-patong. Paano kung yung folder na yun doon, patong-patong yung pala yung kaso mo? Sorry ka na lang. Mamatay ka na, hindi pa tapos yung kaso mo. You see, ano yung problema rito? Yung budget. Kasi kung meron naman talagang budget, hindi naman po bobo yung mga taga-Korte Suprema, hindi naman po siguro bobo yung mga judges na parang hindi gamitin yan. Kung there's available budget, why are they not gonna use it? Why are they gonna umasa sila sa mga local LGU? Yun po yung pinapoint out ko, Ma'am USec Tina Rose. Siguro po mag-usap-usap po kayo ng mga taga-judiciary, ma-put a system na para matingnan talaga kung kailangan ba talaga ang pera o hindi, at ano po yung mga kailangan na pera na ibigay sa kanila na mapaayos po yung takbo ng ating judicial system. Now, mabalik ulit ako dun sa DMW. Alam niyo po, yung ginagamit na sasakyan ng OWA, 6 years old na po, crosswind. Wala na, phase out na po yung crosswind. Pupugak-pugak po. Okay? So ngayon, ang ginagawa po nila, mag-renta po sila. Sige, pakitawag ng Alipores niyo po.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, unfortunately, we have current regulations which state that for government vehicles, it has to be 7 years before it is replaced. So probably that's the reason why yung 6-year-old vehicle ng OWA hindi pa ho napapalitan. That is true to all departments and agencies. So we provide a vehicle after the 7-year period and after they submit an inventory of vehicles.
So, ano po yun? Batas po natin yan?
It's a COA guideline, Your Honor,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
So is there any way na mag-usap po kayo ng COA? Total, hindi naman pala RA yan, na para mabago yan, para sa isang departamento na kailangan talaga ng sasakyan. In this case, kasi po sa OWA, hindi naman po nila ginagamit sa patag yan. Usually po, pupunta yan sa mga libid na lugar na kung saan nandun po yung ating mga pobreng OFW. Now, just imagine 7 years crosswind, lubak-lubak yung daan. In 2 years pa lang, 3 years, sira na yan. So mas magastos pa po, may pupunta po sa repair shop para ayusin yung sasakyan. It doesn't make sense. Po, papalitan ng bago. So kung yun po hindi batas, then siguro come up with something na hindi na paabuti ng ganong katagal, especially doon sa needs ng departamento. In this case, yung OWA, pupunta po yun sa mga liblib na lugar.
Nito pong huli, ito pong pandemic na ito, binigyan natin ng OWA ang authority to rent motor vehicles, especially for OFWs. Pag hindi naman po roadworthy na yung sasakyan, pinapalitan naman po at ino-authorize ng DBM yung amount. It is really based on the representation of the department of the agency.
Okay. Okay. Yung po mga infrastructure na ni-request po ng OWA, kaya nga po humiling sila nitong 281 million para po maglagay ng office sa Coronadal, lagyan mo office sa Pagadian kasi po bubulok-bulok ng present offices nila doon. At meron naman pong lupa, dinonate sa kanila. Mukhang babawi na ata yung donation ng lupa yun kasi sabi hindi nyo ata kayang panindigan yung binigyan namin lupa. So, sana po yun yung something na kinonsider nyo. Sana po, binusisi nyo muna ng gusto itong 281 bago nyo po ni-slash. Kasi tinanong ko po yung OWA kayo ba ay tinanong muna o pinagsubmite ng mga dokumento to your budget being slashed? Wala. Sabi wala po eh. Basta in-slash na lang. They didn't even ask for documents from us.
Mr. Chair, contrary to what OWA represented, we normally ask agencies and departments to support their infrastructure projects, especially because this is a new department. We're extra sensitive to new departments and
OWA is not a new department.
no,
Madam Yusek.
BMW.
Okay.
Because it's integral to the new department. So, hiningi po namin yon. Unfortunately, yung mga clearances required, kagaya ng yung DNR clearance for, plus yung DPWH clearance, hindi na-submit. So, including yung sa IT po nila.
Did you ask for that?
Yes,
Those
yes,
documents? Well, siguro sa susunod na hearing, iharap ko po sa inyo si Arnel Ignacio because he said wala raw po talaga. I don't know kung nagsisinungaling ba si Arnel Ignacio, yung administrator ng OWA, o sino po sa inyo dito sa...
Doon, nasa,
Siguro mas maganda kung pagharap-harapin kayo. Kasi sinabi po ni OWA, administrator Arnel Ignacio, tinanong ko talaga, are you sure hindi ko kayo iniwan ng documents o explanation bago sila mag-slash? Wala raw talaga, zero. Basta't na lang, tinabla na lang. Yun ang pagkasabi.
at that point kasi I think si Administrator Ignacio was not yet the administrator. So we were coordinating with the finance people of OWA. So we actually required it. In fact,
Nagtanong-tanong na siya. Sabi ko sa kanya, balikan mo ako in a few minutes. Tanungin mo dyan sa finance, kung sino man dyan sa opisina na nakikipag-communicate yung DBM tungkol sa budget request.
Apo.
Sabi niya, yes. Tinanong ko na lahat yan. Wala talaga kaming natanggap na warning man lang na i-slash namin to unless makapagpakita kayo ng additional documents to justify itong construction ng building. Wala raw po. Now, nakangiti po kayo. Pero si Arnel Ignacio, nung kausap po, hindi po siya nakangiti. Seryoso po siya.
kasi Mr. Chair, Your Honor, just to also provide information, before we finalize the budget and submit it to our printers, we give all departments and agencies a confirmation letter. And OWA was also provided with this letter. And after that, they're given about a week to react on their budget.
So, pinapadala niyo po siya ng sulat. Sige, granting totoo ng isang sabi niyo. Meron ba kayong received copy?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Then can you provide me with a received copy para
Yes,
mabalikan
Mr.
ko si
Chair.
Administrator Arnel Ignacio tungkol dyan?
Opo, pagkatapos po nun, meron ho kaming tinatawag na hearing within DBM, it's internal to DBM, where we call it the hearing period.
The what period mo?
Hearing.
Anong hirit?
Wala po kasing English yun eh.
Okay. Okay.
Wala po
Sige.
English kasi yung
Kanina sip-sip, ngayon hirit naman. Kaya mag-sip-sip ka muna bago ka makahirit.
internal to DBM yan.
Okay, sige.
Internal to DBM yan.
Yung birit, ano ba
Hirit mo yung birit. Hina lang ha, baka mamaya mapunta tayo kung saan.
Sirit.
Okay, sirit okay pa.
So,
Sana.
internal to DBM, and that's what we call it. That is the period when agencies request for reconsideration, realignment of their levels, and if the fiscal space allows it, binibigay po yan.
You know, ma'am, I don't know kung sino po nagsasabi na totoo. And then, nagtanong din po ako sa mga members of the Judiciary tungkol sa sinasabi nyo. And they said, no, wala mga ganon. Hindi sila humingi ng additional documents from us o supporting documents para ma-aprobahan, ma-reconsider yung aming request. So, ibig sabihin ito, mga taga-hudikatura yung nagsisinungaling. So, si Arnel Ignacio sinungaling. Ito mga, siyempre, I'm not gonna name names muna. Itong justice, mga justice na nakausap ko, sinungaling din.
Hindi sila sinungaling.
Ano lang?
Hindi pa siguro magkakaintindihan.
Miscommunication.
Ganito. Pwede ako tumulong?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Chair, I'm sure
Legal.
they all mean well. There's a need to upgrade and rehabilitate courthouses, all the infrastructures, judiciary. as I said, every year, Mr. Chair, there's the funding for the unfilled positions. In the NEP, there's 8.494B for the NEP of 2023 for the total judiciary lump sum for filling of positions, meaning this has mean that in the previous year's budget, this is the same amount for the cutoff period for the unfilled positions, because for the provision in the Constitution, we're not allowed to go below it, right? So, ibig po niyang sabihin, yung 8.494 billion ay nandyan po na hindi nagamit sa nakaraang taon. So, meron pong nakalaan naman sa 2023 NEP na pinapag-aralan natin na 8.494 for filling. Pwede nilang punuin lahat yan, or maaring maging savings na pwedeng i-realign, legal po yan, sa pangangailangan sa capital outlay. Pwede po yun. Tama ba ako, DBM, o baka mali intindi ko? Tama, ayun. So, does it mean that the 8.494 billion for unfilled positions for 2022 is there and can be utilized for the upgrade of courthouses? DBM, is that legal? Can they use it that way, Mr. Chair?
Juggling of funds?
Hindi. Kaya nga tinatanong ko, is that allowed? The funds unused or unfilled positions for this year, can it be used to rehabilitate courthouses?
They can realign
They can
internally.
realign it. Okay. And did, in the President's budget, in the NEP, which we're studying, in the GAB, do we have the provision for unfilled positions in the same amount of the previous year so as not to violate the Constitution? We did not go down. Yes.
Okay.
Therefore, the judiciary may fill up the positions for qualified persons. And if unused, is it legal for them to utilize it for capital outlay to upgrade courthouses? Okay, very clear.
So, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Lauren. Wala kasi dito yung mga justices sa taga-judiciary to defend themselves. Kasi ang nag-uusapan, kayo, ako, kayo, kami, kayo. Dapat next time po, kung gusto niyo po, I'll set up a meeting, mas kinatapos ng budget hearing natin, para magkalamanan kung sino nagsasabi ng totoo, kung sino may mali. Kasi may sinasabi, maganda yung sinasabi ni Senator Lauren. Kung pakinggan natin, mukhang okay, mukhang wala kayong kasalanan. Mukhang ang may problema rito, yung mga justices sa Supreme Court dahil hindi na ginagamit.
Clarify ko, Sen. Raffy, hindi ko po tinuturo na may
No.
judiciary.
No, what I'm saying is, parang bumili talaga na, parang hindi nila alam yung tinatawag na realignment na pwede pa realign yung savings nila doon sa unfilled position
Ano yun, alam.
para
Kasi alam po nila.
hindi, kaya nga mas maganda kung nandito po sila. Kasi they cannot defend themselves right now. They're not here. So we can say anything we want. You can say anything you want. But they should be here para magkaalamanan. That's why mismo, willing po ako na iharap sila sa inyo at mag-uusap kayo at makikinig po ako kung sino sa inyo talaga ang tama, whoever is making sense. Yun po yun eh. Kasi we can say anything we want here, but they're not here to defend themselves. Yun po ibig sabihin.
Your Honor, you've consumed more than 17 minutes. We've been
Okay.
very liberal with your time, actually.
Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry, but because I'm only saying that because nag-aantay po si Minority Leader for his second round.
Sorry, Mr.
Yeah,
Chair.
so-
Sorry, Mr. Minority Leader.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. No, we'll give you, if you want to wrap up, you want to say anything, please wrap up.
Anyway, Mr. Chair, yung sa akin lang naman, kaya nga, lahat ng budget na pinopropose, hindi po ako tumututol dahil hindi naman po ako expert sa mga ganong klaseng, di ba, budgeting ng naman department. Dapat ang sa akin lang next time, we really have due diligence at some research kung kailangan ba talaga o hindi yung budget na yung kailangan ba talaga slash o hindi. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat. Salamat, Mr. Chair. Salamat, Minority Leader. Pasensya na.
Thank you very much, Senator Tulfo. And maybe the DBM can have a dialogue as suggested by Senator Tulfo with the judiciary para yung mga needs na binanggit niya. I confirm that because I used to attend I used to go to the Hall of Justice sa QC, Pasay, Manila. as a practicing lawyer, meron talagang, totoo yung sinabi niya, yung may kaldero, may panluto, totoo po lahat yan. And USec Janet is nodding her head. Nakita na rin po niya yun siguro sa Baguio and in the Cordillera. So, just a suggestion from our part to, of course, we respect the independence of the judiciary, pero syempre, there must also be an efficient use of funds for all government agencies. So,